we go, first video. I'm hoping the sound's actually pretty good. I haven't had a chance to test it yet, so hopefully it's not too windy. With the first video, first real one, because the other one didn't have any talking, I figured, hey, talk about some firsts. So this is my first bike. This is a 07 GSXR 750. And when I was looking at it, I went on YouTube, I read a whole bunch of things, I asked a whole bunch of people, and a lot of people told me the same thing. They said, hey, when you get a first bike, just get something like a 250 Ninja or something around that size. That way you learn, you know. So they just mentioned over and over, learning curve this, learning curve that. Got it, right? And then a buddy of mine said, think about it like this, all right? Buying a bike is like it's like an investment, right? So when you do it, you want to do it for the long term. He said, you're going to get sick of a 250 after about a month. It's not going to be enough, all right? Because riding a sports bike it's fun. It's about handling, it's about performance, and you get really used to it really quickly. So he said, my suggestion is get at least a 600. So I took his advice. I went around, I went on Craigslist, and I was looking for a 600, and the first one I was going to buy was a CBR, and the guy wanted, like, I want to say 800 more than Blue Book, right? And the whole time he's like, well, you know, I put this paint on it, and I put that, and I got a Two Brothers exhaust, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, hey, guy, I appreciate what you're trying to tell me, but bottom line is I don't care what you got on it. I'm going to give you Blue Book, bottom line. So he wasn't all for it. I wasn't going to bend. So I kept looking, and about a day later, this bike came on, and the lady wanted, I want to say about 1,500 less than Blue Book. So when I went to go check it out, I checked it out, and I didn't even ride it. I didn't even have my permit yet. I wanted to get the bike first, right? So I'm looking at it, I wanted to, but to be honest, it still really scared me. But this is always something I wanted to do. So after about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks to the bank, you know, slowly getting their stuff together, and I actually had to wait for mail, ground mail for anything to go through, even though she had the same bank. I'm not gonna say who the bank was, but it's pretty terrible. Finally got it, got the bike, and I want to say I put like 250 miles or so in my neighborhood, just figuring out the friction zone, and figuring out how to shift, how to use a throttle, how to brake with my foot first, and then how to brake with both. Little baby steps. My daughter, her school is about, I don't know, maybe half a mile away from where I live, so I would just go up there into the parking lot and just practice for hours and hours and hours until my hands were just numb from practicing. And then I decided, okay, well, I'm going to try to take it on the road. Took it on the road, and right then and there, just boom, I fell in love with it. So my suggestion is, if you are going to get a first bike, or you haven't ridden for a while and you're, you know, nervous about getting on a sports bike, whatever the case, I highly recommend that you go at least 600, because you're going to get bored on a 250 really easily. And to be dead honest, the bike, it will do what you tell it to do. All right, like, your eyes are the bike's eyes, so whatever you do, the bike is going to do. And they're very easy to handle. You'll see plenty of videos where dudes jack up a stunt or somebody falls off and the bike just keeps going. Yeah, it's just like that. You know, the bike is very easy to control as long as you're not dumb with it. And I don't know if you can see right through here, got my little nose squid sticker. I'm a firm believer in that. I can't stand those dudes. But yeah, if it's going to be your first, make it count, because it is an investment. Think about it as something you want to ride for a while. And bottom line is, get something you enjoy, get something you can have fun on, and then get something that fits your environment. If you're going to be riding around the city only, or if you've got roads like this you can ride around, it's going to affect the CCs you're probably going to want to get as well. So anyway, that's my advice on getting a first bike. You can take absolutely everything I say with a grain of salt, because I've only been riding for just over 5 months now. I put about 2,500 miles on this bike so far. Pretty much, if I can ride my bike, if I don't need to take in a whole bunch of bags or something to work, I'm riding my bike. If raining, whatever, doesn't matter. So I'm definitely in love with riding. I look at my car now as just like say a cage, man. I can't stand it. It's so much easier to get around traffic, so much easier to avoid hassles on the road. So yeah, but this is, I'm going to post as my first real video. I'm going to have a whole bunch different topics. If people decide to watch them and they want to ask me questions, I'll respond to their questions whenever I can. And then we'll keep them going. We're going to try to put out at least one a week. But thanks for hanging in there, guys. I appreciate it. Take care, and I'll talk to you later. No squids.